In this video, we will continue to sculpt our model in Blender, our character, and we started to create really fine details using smaller and smaller size for the various brushes. And we added, you can see here, some veins into the body. And also we can continue to deform with the grab or the elastic deform still in this stage. So you always can go back and define like details of the body and of the arms and so on. But we focus mainly on the head in the previous video. And also here again we can try to understand if we want to change something on the overall shape of the overall form of the head and the face. And you can see that little by little everything will come out like kind of automatically. Now we also created the hands in the previous video by applying them and merging them to the rest of the body. So we can always import from another file. We can get it also if we want from some sources, from external sources on the web, and we can apply ears and nose and mouths from the external, or we can do it ourselves as we are doing in this series of lessons. So again, with the yellow, sometimes from time to time, I go back with the yellow brushes or yellow tools, which will help me to define again a little bit better the body and the face and the head. So what I'm doing here is trying to experiment, try to test what happens if I push and pull things around in the face, because I don't really have like a precise idea of what my character will be. But the more I go on, the more I move forward, the more it's kind of getting defined in my head. So I want to push here some parts and make them more harsh, and I want to make like like a middle age character, like around 40 or 50, so not too young, not too old, pretty strong, kind of fierce and bad and ugly. And so I want to define better the bones system here. I want to make them more visible because it is not like puffy and fat, but it's kind of a thin character. So you can see here the temple. You can push and pull things around to make them look more evident. So there is not like a defined rule for this. There is not like a perfect body and a perfect face. It's about what you want to create. And you can see I'm moving around from the top, from the side, from the front, because some things that looks good on the side perhaps is not good on the front, and all the other way around. So remember always to move around, and then you can play around here. You can create like some expressions, play around, do like brainstorming. So perhaps something will catch your eye, will you know, you will find accidentally something that you like, and that eventually becomes your project, your character. So don't be stuck in a character. Just continue to experiment, continue to push and pull things around, look them from different angles. And also, really important thing is to change a little bit the lining system. So something that could be visible with this lining system here perhaps is not visible in other settings with other materials and other lights. So also you can see that if you click on the X, the Y, the Z, everything is flat. It's perfectly well, it's not perspective. It's a perfectly 2D view, and that's sometimes better because perspective kinds of distorts a lot. We have a lot of distortion with perspective. So one way we can fix that, if we want, is go to View in pressing N or going in the right tab there, and just adjust the focal length of your camera. So if it's too low, it's going to deform a lot. And I think that in Blender, the standard is 50. So 50, it's pretty deforming. So you may want to have something higher than that. So more a telescopic lens, not a panoramic or fish eye lens. So you want to increase the focal length, so it becomes less distorted in perspective. Otherwise, you're going to have like a real big difference between what you're seeing in the perspective and what you're seeing when you go in the front view and in the other 2D views. So that's another suggestion. And also, again, test different lighting, test different lights, different studio system. You can find them there in the material tab under the render engine you're using. You can see this white here. It's really nice. It's changing things a little bit, and also the lining. So I can find out things that I don't really like. For example, this part of the bones on the pectoral, I don't really like it, so I want to adjust it a little bit, make it like well, I'm just gonna test, just test. And also this part is probably too extruded, so I want to push it. I want to push in there. I want to smooth those little wrinkles there, and so I want to have something smoother for that. So again, you can see there from the side, doesn't look good. It's too extruded, so I'm gonna push it using the grab or the elastic. Now, sometimes you can do things accidentally, you don't even notice. So this is why it's important to switch materials, switch lining, and also wireframe. Wireframe is important because, again, we will enhance some of the details, so you can see if there's something going wrong with the topology. And you can see now we are using triangles because we used the Dynamesh or Dyntopo in the previous video to create the ears and the nose. And you can see we have a lot of details everywhere on the model, and perhaps we don't really need all of those details everywhere. Now, usually when we have smaller details like in the face, so we want to work again with the face in this video and with the head. So this is where we're gonna like increase the number of polygons a little bit. And we are creating, I'm creating a mask right now. We already talked about masks and face sets and the difference between masks and face sets, but we're going to continue to use these also in the following videos. But the essential difference is that the mask is kind of temporary, it's something you want to do on the fly, while face sets, they are uh, made to stay. So if you paint with the brush of the face set, it's going to give a color, which is also nice if you want to like uh, I don't know, study some colors before even actually painting or assigning materials. So it's really good. Now this is called polygroups in ZBrush, for example. So they are used also in other software, and these are really handy again because they will differentiate different areas of your subject. So for example, in this video, I want to work only with the head. I want to concentrate on the head. I want to create also the eyes and the eye bulbs and the eye sockets. So what I'm doing here is I'm painting all over. And when I want to add, I hold Control inside the face set area and I continue to brush. So if I hold Control, it's going to continue to add selection because at the end, this is a selection. It's a selection set that we will save and we can manage. Now, if I hold Control outside the area, it's gonna subtract. So Control is for adding, and subtracting depends on if you are inside or outside the area. If you hold Shift instead, you can see that it's gonna define better the edges. So it's gonna essentially smooth. So it's kind of smoothing when we are sculpting. We are smoothing now the edges because perhaps we can use this to create some clothing later. We can create apparel using the masks and the face sets, so the selection. And you can see it kind of creates some seams in there, some parts where it's like we are seeing some seams, and that's the thing we are doing here with the shift. So we are dividing the two, but we're using the shift. It's going to be like a really defined edge and not like a zigzag. And I can continue. So if I click